Hi everyone, I'm Armine Bazikyan from Bazikyan Law Group. This month I wanted to talk to you guys about how to administer a trust. So a lot of people think that when they set up a trust, that's it, they're done, they don't go to court, nothing happens, everything is done. That's not necessarily true. When the person actually passes away, that trust that they put in place has to be administered. So when we administer a trust, we basically are going through a series of steps from the time that the person dies all the way to the time that we actually hand the assets to the new person that they wanted to become the owner. So to their kids, to their husband or wife, or to other family members. So anytime we're administering a trust, the very first step is actually to gather information. When a person dies and they have a trust in place, we want to make sure that we know everything about their finances, we know everything about their family tree. So we call it an information gathering phase, where you hire an attorney, the attorney comes on board, and we actually go through an info gathering where we secure everything, make sure that the locks are changed, we get death certificates, we can collect all of the statements that are coming in through the mail to figure out what they had, we look through records. So after this initial stage of info gathering, the administration really starts kicking up a notch, right? We provide notices to beneficiaries. There are certain notice requirements, there are certain lodging requirements with the courts. So the attorney guides you through all of these legal requirements that you have to do. Once all those are done, and we have read through obviously the trust and figure out what we need to do, we actually go through a third step, which is funding any sub-trusts that are created. So a lot of times married couples, for example, will have a trust that splits off into two. So at this administration level, we actually do the splitting. So we actually create two more trusts that come to life with that big overarching trust. And then what actually ends up happening once we're done with that phase. Oh, and I also want to mention that it doesn't necessarily have to split in half. That's just what some married couples have. You might actually have a trust that splits into three because you have three separate children and you want to keep it separate for all three of them. Or you have a special trust set up for a special person. So we do all of this sub-trust work at some point as well. And then the very third or fourth phase, I should say, is what we call the distribution phase, where we're done with all the legal requirements, we've collected everything, we know of everything, we've handled all the tax issues, and now we are finally ready to distribute, right? We're finally ready to give these beneficiaries what it is that their loved one who passed away wants. And so we do the distribution phase, and then we close out the trust estate. We might keep it open depending on what outstanding matters we have for a little bit more time, but essentially it comes to an end, we close it up, and all of the new owners, the beneficiaries, go along their way and do their own estate planning, hopefully. So that's actually the lifeline or the timeline of a trust administration. Make sure that if you're hiring a trust attorney to write up your trust, that they are actual trust administration attorneys. The big clue or the big giveaway that should tell you that they have no idea what they're doing when they're writing your planning is if they tell you that they don't administer trust. That means they don't know what they're writing because they don't know how to help your family get through that trust administration timeline that I just described. As always, we provide free consultations, so feel free to call our office and schedule one. Thanks guys, bye.